Hello, chefs. I'm Chef Arun from AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. And today we'll be learning about the larder department. It is also known as the guard manger, cold kitchen, and also as the butchers. All these terms can be interchangeably used for this department. The objectives of this session are functions of the larder department, duties and responsibilities of the larder chef, and common terms used in the larder department. Now let us understand the functions of the larder department. The main function is to provide meat and meat products in pre-processed form for further use at the respective sections of the kitchen. The second one is storage of perishable foods in raw and cooked form, which includes meat and meat products. It can spoil very easily, so utmost care has to be taken during storage. A temperature of -18 is most suitable for storage. The larder is also responsible for supply of cold meats such as patés, terrines, galantines, cold sauces, salads, and salad dressings. Fish, poultry, game, meat received is fabricated, processed as per the requisition received from various kitchen sections. Cold buffet, comprising of a wide range of cold cuts including pâtés, terrines, savory mousses, galantines, are prepared and presented. The department is also responsible for decorative pieces on buffets in the form of fruit and ice carvings, which elevates the eye appeal of a buffet. The most important is yield testing. In order to decide the edible output after cleaning a raw material or cooking a recipe can be defined as yield testing. Let's simplify it with an example. If I have a chicken weighing 1000 grams, that is around 1 kg, I need to know what would be the boneless weight after separating the carcass and trimmings. Similarly, a recipe once cooked gives you a certain quantity in number or weight. Both these, that is, the chicken or the cooked recipe, helps making a standard purchase specification, shortly known as SPS, which further simplifies the process of ordering and also in making a standard recipe. Now let's get into the duties and responsibilities of the larder chef who heads the department. Efficient working, which means perfect amount of stock is maintained to meet all the demands or requisitions. It is possible with good coordination with all the sections. Let's take a few examples here. Fish fillet would be required by the French hot kitchen. Simultaneously, the stock section may require the fish carcass for making a fumet. Similarly, coordinating with bakery for pastry dough, and vice versa, the bakery would be in contact for mince for making the meat pie. Training is an important factor. There is very less scope for a trial and error in this department, as the food cost may increase due to wrong processing of raw material. So the larder chef is responsible to train the juniors. Pilferage should be controlled to avoid undue burden on the food cost and can be achieved through discipline. He should have a close watch on the storage, as there is a high chance of contamination as the department deals with meat and meat products. Also in stock, one would have a range of imported products ranging from Parma ham to the expensive caviar. As per the requisition received from various kitchen sections, the larder chef tabulates the demand, and after considering the maintenance of past stock levels and future events, The final demand should be put forward to the stores or the purchase department. As mentioned earlier, the department deals with maximum A category items. A lot of cost is involved. Record keeping in the form of meat tags and bin cards helps maintain the stock and provide data for reordering of raw material. Maintaining hygiene by following the HACCP standards or the rules laid by the organization is of utmost importance for this department. Since the department deals with meat and meat products, it has a high risk of bacterial growth, leading to contamination and food poisoning, which can incur heavy losses. Hence, higher standards of hygiene and sanitary procedures play an important role. Now let's look into the common terms or the technical terms that you would find or used in the larder department. The first one is aging. Once the rigor mortis has set in, the meat naturally tenderizes with the help of enzymes present into it. This has to be carried out strictly under controlled cold conditions. There are two types that you would find. One is wet and the other is dry aging. Antipasto. A classical Italian hors is termed as an antipasto. Bin card. A card generally put on the bin or shelf containing the product. It provides data on issue and stock in hand. Canapé. I'm sure everyone is well versed with this term. A small piece of bread, decoratively cut, served with savory spread and garnish, served cold, and is a classical hors. Carpaccio. Paper thin slices of fish or meat which is served raw. Moving ahead, carryover. To understand this term, let's take an example. A platter of cold cuts received after a buffet service still contains a few cold cuts which were not consumed. They are reused for the next buffet service, of course, after considering the shelf life of the product. This is what you understand by a carryover. The next one is casing. In making of a sausage, the force meat is stuffed in the casing. The natural casing available to us is an animal intestine. Also, artificial or synthetic ones are available for use. Coulis, fruit puree or a veg puree, which is cooked to thicken, is used as a base or a sauce for many preparations. Crudités, vegetables that can be served raw, for example, cucumbers, celery, radish, carrot, which are neatly cut and served with a dip, is a great option as an appetizer. Daily inventory sheet, a sheet that provides data on the list of items for replenishment, if any, special orders, and mainly gives us the value of the stock on hand. Edible portion can be explained with a simple example. After a fish has been filleted, the carcass, head, tail, etc. is trimmed out to obtain a fillet. So the fillet here would be the edible portion. Ending inventory. Physically checking of inventory to know the value of stock on hand. First in, first out. Many of us are very well versed with this term. Inventory or stock bought first should be utilized at the earliest to avoid spoilage. The next one is force meat, a fine mixture made of meat, flavoring, and binders, which is used to prepare pâtés, sausages, galantine, ballotines, etc. Garniture, other term used for a garnish. Lard, fat obtained from hogs, which is rendered and majorly used to insert as strips into meat, which are low in marbling. Basically, you mean that the fat content is very low in the meat. and is also used for cooking. Last in, first out, generally used for foods with perishable nature and need to be used or sold at the earliest. Par level. A certain amount of stock has to be maintained at any given point of time. Considering this, the management decides on the maximum and the minimum stock that has to be maintained. But one has to know the level at which reordering needs to be done, and that is known as par level. Requisition, a list of items requested from stores for use in the kitchen. Shelf life, a product or an ingredient which has maintained its freshness, flavor, and quality, and is termed fit for consumption, can be termed as shelf life. Waste percentage, a percentage calculated to understand the loss occurred during the preparation process. Yield testing. We have discussed this term earlier in the functions of the department. It basically means the edible part of a raw material or the final output of a cooked item. It helps in calculating recipes, indenting, and calculation of food cost. We will be learning about the essential tools and equipments used in the larder department in the next video. For any queries, mail me on arunSherkar14@gmail.com. Do attempt the quiz mentioned in the description. Thank you.